Hi there, how are you? This is Loise. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to join me, welcome, and please hit that subscribe button. For my returning fans, thank you so much for your support. Again, I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I am based in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Today, I want us to talk about something called dual intent as it relates to the refusal of your visa. That is a temporary visa, okay? And a little disclaimer that I must give here is that the information that I'm giving you today is not in any way, shape, or form legal advice. This is for your information only. This is just to guide you. Should you need legal advice, legal professional advice, please reach out to me. My email is going to be at the description of this video. As you can see, I'm doing my video outside because it's a beautiful sunny winter day. So beautiful here. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The sun is shining. It's hot. We still have snow on the ground, but you know, yeah, it's beautiful. So we have to enjoy when it's sunny like this, okay? Yeah, so what is dual intent when it relates to your visa refusal? Okay, that's what I want to address. And dual intent is having two intents. Basically, it's having a temporary intent and having a permanent intent. And I will be explaining that shortly. So, assuming you want to come to visit Canada temporarily, but you also have dreams of settling here permanently. So that is dual intent. And we are going to see how that is going to affect your visa application when you want to come here as a visitor, as a worker, or a student. Okay? So it's not bad to have dual intent. Actually, the ARPA, that is the Immigration Act, states that dual intent is legitimate. That is according to ARPA section 22 subsection 2. It actually states that an intention by a foreign national to become a permanent resident does not preclude them from becoming a temporary resident as far as they can satisfy the visa officer that they will be able to leave Canada at the end of their temporary stay. Do you hear that? So it's okay that you want to become a permanent resident, okay? But it's okay still that you want to come visit Canada, but you must first satisfy the visa officer that you'll go back to your country after your temporary visit, and then you can continue pursuing your permanent residency. And when you listen to that, that there is a catch-22, you know? Because when you want to apply for a visa, assume you want to apply for a visa, you want to come here visit, you want to come here as a student, you want to come here as a grandmother, you know, through super visa, you want to come here and work. One of the main requirements that you must satisfy the visa officer is that you will go back to your country after your short stay. And you're going to find that a lot of visa refusals, if you look at the visa refusals that we have out there, most of them say that the visa officer is not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay. Okay? That is the main thing that you have to satisfy the visa officer. So how then can you satisfy the visa officer that you'll go back while still interested to stay in Canada permanently? And now I'm going to give you scenarios, examples of how this is going to affect you, and then I'll tell you how to make sure that it does not catch you. Okay, so assume you're a student, you want to come to Canada as a student. Of course, you want to study here, and after that, you want to get a postgraduate work permit. Remember, we talked about the postgraduate work permit. And after the postgraduate work permit, you also want to apply through the Canadian experience class to become a permanent resident. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that is the strategy that we always talk about. But should you let the visa officer know of your plans? No, never. You cannot do that, because when you're coming here as a student, that is a temporary visa you're getting. Okay, so if you're getting a temporary visa, you must satisfy the visa officer you have no intention of staying in Canada beyond your studies. If you make a mistake to say that you want to stay here and look for work after your studies, you're going to be denied that study visa. You see? So dual intent is legitimate. You cannot use it in your application. You cannot use it in your application for temporary residence, because when you use it, then they're going to use it against you. Okay? Another example is a grandmother, yeah, or your parents, they want to come visit you in Canada, so you get them the super visa, and you still want to sponsor them for permanent residence. You cannot say that you want your parents to come to Canada on a super visa, which is temporary, while you work on the permanent residence application. You must satisfy them that after the 2-year validity of the super visa, your parents are going to go back to their country, and then you're not going to mention the fact that you want to apply the permanent residence for them. So those two must be independent of each other. If you want to apply, they cannot be related, because when you relate them, then they're going to work against you. The other part, another example is you want to apply to come to Canada as a permanent resident through the express entry. At the same time, you also want to come to Canada on a vacation. Do you see? So those are two different things, and they are going to deny you that application for visa. And this is my opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion, but they're going to use that against you to deny you the visitor visa. So be very, 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 very careful what you are indicating, what you're writing down when you're applying for a temporary visa. And a temporary visa, that is either a visitor visa, a business visa, a work visa, a super visa. All those are temporary visas. So be very careful when you are applying for those, because you must satisfy the visa officer you have no intention of staying here. And at times I find that a little hypocritical, because they make you, especially when you're coming here as a student, they make you prove that you will go back to your country. So you must say, I'm only coming there to study because I want to go back and change my country, change my business, do this, do that. You have to, in your letter of intent or even in your study plan, you must write that very carefully to show that you're gonna go back. However, once you graduate from the Canadian institution, the same people are begging you to stay, because then they have a lot of immigration programs here which are quite attractive for students who are in Canada. So I do not see why then they have to make you first satisfy them that you'll go back, but once you're already here, now they want to retain you. But it's not upon me. I don't know why they do that, but you need to know these tips before you apply. So be careful when you're doing your study plans, when you're doing your study plans, your letter of intent, when you're arriving at the port of entry. It's you who knows that I'm going to Canada to study, but then I don't want to go home after my studies. I want to look for work. I want to apply for permanent residence. It's also you who knows that you're coming here as a visitor, and you have plans of looking for work here. That is upon you. When you come at the point of entry, make sure you are only satisfying the part that is temporary. The permanent one, do not go volunteering information. I have told you, be very careful. You can look at my other video that I talked about arriving at a Canadian port of entry. Be very careful. Don't volunteer information. Don't answer questions nobody asked you. Don't talk unnecessarily, because at times you volunteer too much information, it works against you. And remember, your visa is temporary. So when it's temporary, everything about it is temporary. When you arrive in Canada, now that is a different story. If you want to look for work, if you want to apply for permanent residence, now that is something different. But combining them and stating them clearly that you want to come to Canada temporarily and then look for a permanent solution, that is going to work against you. So that is the dual intent and how it affects your visa application. I'm going to be making another video about the other reasons as to why you are denied your visas and how to address them. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much for keeping it here. Thank you for your support. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, please share it with somebody. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.